Hey Brandon, Ben here going through your swing analysis, working on your mechanics of your swing. Found a couple things to work on. I've been doing swing analysis work for the last decade or so. Played professional baseball for a while and won a minor league batting title. So just found a couple things in regards to your swing that I wanted to talk about in regards to your stance and things. So let's go ahead and get started here. In regards to your setup for your swing, setup of your swing was good. I did like where your feet are. I like where your hands are. And in regards to our start of our swing, there was some things that I felt that we could improve upon. So let's go ahead and talk about those. But I do, in regards to like the distance where your feet are from your start, where your hands are. I do like where your eyes are, and I do like the posture of where your body is in relation to the bend in your knees. So it gives yourself a really good chance when you have a good stance like that. So props on your stance. I think it's great in regards to where you're at with that. As I go through my swing, and the next area of video analysis work is we talk about our land foot. And what we're going to do is we're going to get yourself to land foot. So when you get yourself loaded up and you get yourself ready to swing, so your hands are going to separate back away from our body, you're going to go into what's called our land foot position here. So one thing I do notice right away is I'm going to stop it right here, is we're going to draw a circle around our hip, and we're going to put a circle around my front foot. And what happens is those are two pretty open hips and front foot. So as I go with a line here, you can see that your heel is more facing these guys. And at this point of your swing, you want that heel to be facing more over here. And you don't want to open that front side up too much, which exposes that front hip. And what happens when we do that is it begins to really take the power away from my swing and transfer it into my arms, which is what we don't want. So as I continue my swing, we can see that we come up off of my back side, and by the end of our swing, we're mainly arms of upper body. You can tell that by a couple things. One is that toe is really facing the pitcher, and that back foot is pretty much off the ground, which means all the power goes up to your arms. So at this point of our swing, we need to change a couple things. One is you want, instead of this front foot facing towards the pitcher, you got to make sure that that thing stays closed off and basically points towards the first baseman. So don't have your toe at the end of your swing, or when you do a stride, to really have it focus on pointing at the pitcher, compared to be pointing more at you want it to be pointing towards the first baseman or even the first base dugout, compared to pointing at the pitcher right now. The other thing is with my backside, you want to take your back foot and you want to have it back in here a little bit, and you want to be more on the ball of my foot. You can see that I'm more on the toe, and you want it to be more on the ball and the foot. So what that's going to do with my body is it's going to take my knee and my leg back to this area, and it's going to have my power line be here and my head also be there. I like where your front leg is, it's fine, but we need to have our body more in line with this line, and then you would have your front leg be more that direction. That's going to give you a much more power line. And you can see, instead of it getting a little bit jammed at contact, if your body's back here, it would give you, with your hands in the same position, it would take that same pitch, and it would make you actually be really squaring up the ball and have a lot more power. So I think that's going to make a huge difference in regards to your swing of what this does. And what I would do is I would focus on a lot of tee work, to where at the end of your swing, you can really check yourself out, check your back foot out, check your back leg out, see where your feet are. Is it closed or open? Are you pointing it at the pitcher? Do you have it closed off? Look straight down, see where your head is in relation to, you can see that your head's more towards your front knee right now, where I would want your head to be more back on this line, and that's going to help you stay back and create some more power for you to really engage that whole lower half, compared to just working on upper body. And you can see just get a lot more power if you really engage that lower half more. So that's going to be a big deal for you going forward to do that too. So I want to go to this next little swing here. This one's a little bit better in regards to separation and staying back in power. We want to go get that ball a little bit, but you can see as I go to swing here, that front foot begins to open up on me a little bit more when I do that land foot. So make sure when you stride, you can see how you go forward, but that front foot, when it lands, it really opens up, and what that does is it exposes that front hip, and it transfers it more up to my upper body when I do swing in regards to that. So it takes away the power in your swing here. So when I get to contact, so you can see on this one, you want to really go get the ball. Make sure you can let that ball travel. Focus on hitting the ball the other way. Really let that ball travel. Don't worry about going out to get it. But again, the two things that concern me at contact would be this back foot, that it's not far back enough that it's really up on the toe, and that front foot is really pointing that toe at the pitcher, because that's going to make a big difference of just transferring everything into my arms. The other thing that I think could help too is just focusing on letting that ball travel and getting deep. What I would do is I'd put a ball out here, just a ball that you can look at. So at the end of our swing, you can just really focus in on staying back and keeping your head on the ball. So hit the ball, and then have a ball out in front of the plate, more towards first base, that you can kind of just look at and glance at, that you can really focus to see if I stayed back. Check out my back foot, check out my front foot, check out am I looking down my back leg, and really work on that posture to keep back and stay back to really work on that power. So I think this is going to be a huge difference in regards to your swing. Do a lot of tee work that you can really work on this on. Another good thing you can do is stand in on pitchers when they're throwing their bullpens, that you can work on just staying balanced, because good hitters are good takers. And I think it's important to take pitches, because that's going to be a big part of your hitting, is just how often you take pitches, because you're not going to swing at every pitch, obviously. So we just got to get a lot more balanced, use a lot more foundation, keep your head on the ball, focus and hold your finish at the end and freeze and really check yourself out. I think there's going to make some big differences, those 4 or 5 things in your swing. So watch this video over and over again and keep really working at it. It's going to take some time, because this is definitely a difference in what you're going to be doing with your swing. But we appreciate you coming to camp and wish you the best the rest of the summer, and hope to have you back at camp real soon.